Well, we're finishing up our visit here at Cagel's U-Pullet over in Cartersville, Georgia. Made a road trip over here, and we've got most of a front end of a Toyota Echo in there. Doesn't look like much because there's not much to them. So hood, fender, etc., etc. You'll see it later. So Uncle Phil grabbed his power steering line he needed there. Put more in here. So Uncle Phil's annoyed with me now because I've just been offering him some advice out here in the junkyard about how to handle parts and pull parts off. So what was I saying, Phil? Don't scratch it. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. See, I have what started all of it was that there's a headlight out there, which was the last one that existed anywhere around here, and it's very, very fragile and very important. And I cautioned Uncle Phil about mistreating the headlight because he tended to, he grabbed it, see, and it alarmed me when he grabbed it like that, because I thought what was going to immediately come after the grabbing it was going to be a pull on it. And it was going to go crack and crunch and break, and I was going to be ruined. I said, if that had happened, the next thing you probably would have known, I would have disappeared somewhere down in that junkyard and never been seen again because my life be over. So Phil took issue with that, but I think he's getting over it. You getting over it?
I didn't grab it.
Well, your hand was on it.
Oh.
Your hand, no, let's be clear about it. So what happened was he didn't necessarily grab it, but his hand landed on it. And I know, Phil, that Uncle Phil was one of these folks that likes, they got good intentions, but he likes to test a part to see if it's going to move or if it's going to flex a little bit or something. You've been known to do that. I've seen you do it. Don't say no. You know. So, and then the second thing that Uncle Phil didn't appreciate as much as I did was that
I take a fender off.
I helped Uncle Phil understand how to take Toyota Echo fenders off, because I had just taken one off yesterday myself. So Phil said, "Well, it's not like I've never taken a fender off before." And I said, "Okay, Phil, tell us how many Toyota Echo fenders you've taken off." Well, we're waiting.
None.
Okay. I just took one off yesterday.
Okay.
So, I'm just trying to help you out, Phil. You know?
Okay.
I was trying to make life easier for you.
Okay.
You know, you thought
In my shorter time of living?
Well, Uncle Phil thinks he's going to exit the planet here pretty soon, I guess, but I think I don't know. I don't think so, but I think he's going to be around a while, but he's thinking it's not looking good, so we'll see.
It ain't.
Oh, I think it is. Don't talk like that, Phil.
Well, you don't know nothing yet, because I ain't told you.
Well, don't tell me.
Right.
So you're telling the YouTubers too?
Huh?
You're telling your YouTube friends too? It'll be okay. I think we're good.
There's only a couple people that know.
All right, well, we're going to get on the road, guys. See you down the road. Swapping out this busted intake, and there's the old one. You can see what happened to it. It got busted up a little bit, got a crack there, piece out of it there, and piece out of it there. And here's the new one that I picked up from the wreckers, as you guys across the ocean say. And it's a good thing that I looked in these ports while I had all this taken off, because look down in there. I can get my camera down where I look down in there. So focus. See that? There's 2 chunks of plastic down in the port there where the valve is. There's 2 valves down in there. There's a 16 valve engine. Those are the intakes, of course. You can see the head of the valve, and that's hung down in there. So hopefully that's all there is of it. I was concerned. I wondered where all that plastic went. I didn't know if it knocked it out on the ground or what happened, but at least a little bit of it went in there. So, oh, good thing I found that. There's a throttle body. I just laid it off to the side because that keeps me from having to take a couple connections off and some hoses off. So, alright, well, I'm going to put this back together, and then I'm going to see if this engine runs okay before I go further, because I got to order a radiator for it, and I don't want to spend, probably Thursday, and I don't want to spend that money on it if it's not going to be working good. So, all right. That intake is changed out now, and so everything's hooked back up except the radiator. And I'm going to go ahead and start it up and see how it runs with the non-busted intake in it. And hopefully no more plastic down the intake ports. Oh, let's see what we get here. Dead battery. Hang on. I don't know what caused the battery to run down, but I got the jumper pack on it. It's a value crap battery and it don't look too good, so maybe it's just about to try her again. Well, that's nasty. Okay, sounds good. Buddy, water pumps had it. What caused that to happen? You know, I don't know the guy, and I've kind of run him through the ringer, but I wouldn't be surprised if he might have been driving it like that. I can't let the battery charge up because I ain't got no coolant in it. So, all right. Okay, then I got all my parts. I got to do some. Except for the grill, couldn't find the grill, but I got all the rest of it. So I gotta do some metal pulling and some part scuffage and paintage, real cheap somehow, and put it all back together. And then I'm gonna start driving. All right, got a replacement parts in the paint shop as we speak. Looking good. Well, okay then, this project rolls onward, and I'm meticulously scuffing up and preparing the surface of this hood to receive a coat of paint. Got the fender over there. I've already laid on a couple of coats there. I've got to do some trimming out. You can see some red under there. It's got to go away. And here's the hood, and if you look over here, there's a couple dents in it. This one right here looks like something. The car this came off of had already been repaired once. It had a new headlight in it, and some other stuff was evidence that it already something had happened here. So anyways, a dent here, there's a dent here. So the armchair experts may be asking, well, what are you going to do about that? If you do this correctly, you're going to fix that dent, you're going to pop it out, you're going to do all this correctly. Well, my answer is I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm going to paint right over it, because this is the only hood that I could find within about a 500-mile radius. So I have a deadline to get that car going in 2 weeks, and that's going to be this weekend. So it's going to have to use it as is. So we're going to throw on a coat of paint and throw it on there. And this is the paint I'm using. It says it's a perfect match, but it's not actually a perfect match, because this is a Ford color and the car's a Toyota, as you know. but it's pretty close. It's kind of a dark metallic green, and I'm not about to go to the time and effort to find, well, let's just say I'm not going to go to the time and effort to go have paint mixed up and put in a can, because those cans are about 20 bucks, 23 bucks a pop, and they'd only hold about the same as these do. So these were $7.99, and I think I can get away with using 2 of them. So anyway, so yeah, that's the hood, and it's either use this hood or that hood. So I think I'll use the red hood. Then we'll look down the road. We'll look at this, and you know, if we can find another hood, that's what we'll do. We'll get another one. But the junkyard I was at over there, Kegel's, had 3 Echoes, and one was a 2001 that was hit right center in the front, so everything on the front was ruined. This one's a 2002, which was, I don't know what was wrong with it. I didn't see really anything wrong with it. I don't know why it was in there. But it was a 2002, and then there was a 2003, which has a different front end, so I couldn't use the parts off of it, and it had been hit in the back hard. So that's too bad, because anyway, I could have used that whole entire front end if it had been the right one, but they changed the hood and all the stuff's different, and so you'd have to buy all of it. And we got the carpet out of that car, got a headlight, the red car. So I'm letting that continue its drying up. So anyway, so it's got to be going by this weekend, so I've got to get busy. Here we have a new radiator. I had some goodies come in today, so I ordered up a radiator from someplace off eBay. I don't remember their name, but they had a good reputation, and so this is a new radiator for that little car out there, the Lego. And this is again from Sunbelt Radiators. And so this is the same kind of radiator I put in that first Q45 I had, the green one, and it performed perfectly, so I have no doubt this one will be the same. This is the part number, SBR2305, and I think this was about $38 with free shipping. The radiator, the same basic radiator at the parts store up here with a different name on it, is $116. So this saved me a whole chunk of dough doing it this way. And also, the other thing, pardon my sock feet, that I did is I ordered at the same time I got the radiator off of eBay. I ordered a genuine Toyota thermostat, because that car, I don't know when it's ever been changed, and since Toyota did not put a temperature gauge on those, then better safe than sorry. So this was 25 bucks for this. And this is a really well-made unit, it seems to be, and it's a nice heavy piece. It's actually got a rubber seal, plastic, I guess that's actually rubber, seals it. And it's not just a repackaged stamp or something like that. This actually is a Japanese version, because made in Japan. You can see here, Kuzei, and then over here it has this mark here that I've seen on a lot of Toyota stuff in the past, so I have no doubt that that's actually good. It's got the seal with it also. That seal, that's the same kind of seals used on like a TBI 350 thermostat. It's a real nice design, means you don't have to put any kind of sealer on it. But anyway, I'm going to put those in. That should, except for the water pump, that should get the cooling system back together. Now I'm going to buy the water pump locally, because that way if I have a issue with the water pump, then I don't have to fool around with sending it back in the mail or something. And mainly also the retail price was not that much different from what I could get online, so I'll just buy it locally, and that'll be that. The YouTuber said it couldn't be done. it shouldn't be done. It was immoral to once again breathe life into that which was previously dead. They will laugh at you, my son. Your genius will be ridiculed from coast to coast, from country to country. Those who do not understand you will despise you. So anyway, I've got about 3 man hours into this and about $200 so far. And so far, no contagious diseases or infections. So I'm just putting on the replacement metal. I've got my pre-dented hood here and the dog, and just kind of lining things up, seeing how things are going to fit. The hood is going to have to be aligned a little bit more. Either the fender's back or the hood's forward. I'm going to say probably the hood is forward. So I'll be dealing with that. It's really a terrible hood, but it's what I had to work with. So I've got my fender just loosely put on, and get this propped up here temporarily. I reckon it's been chewing on that. Alright. So, anyway, just got my core support, radiator support just set in there. And that radiator support was also pre-dented. And so, anyway, the fender is fitting pretty good. Still got to pulled on this and beat on it and things and got it straightened out. See, I don't start that, they start that. And just kind of testing my fit as far as my metal work goes here, so to speak. So just eyeballing it with it roughly on there. This part right here is going to have to be influenced up somewhat. So whole thing is, the whole thing was back, so it's still kind of down a little bit. So I'm going to leave my pulling apparatus. This is my frame machine here, so I'm going to leave it in place out here. There's my headlight. Ooh, don't touch that headlight. And just kind of massage it a little bit more. And anyway, we'll see what we get with this. I think it's going to work, though. It's not even attached down at the bottom, so that's not a good reference for that. But the line is not bad. We'll get it all on there and tighten up, then we'll give more to find. We'll be able to know more about what we're looking at here and how it's going to work out. Well, that paint, I tell you what, that paint's a perfect match. You'll never tell the differences on that after I put some clear on it and wheel it. Perfect match. It's great. It's going to be great. So, okay then, another Toter update for you. Thanks for watching. See ya. Well, Trump got his bomb, sounds like. No, seriously, I'm out here putting the little car's cooling system back together. This is this 2000 Toyota Echo. It's basically an old version of the Yaris. And this is a 1NZFE engine. It's a 1.5 liter, and this is not a how-to video. This is just going to be a clip in the rest of this series I'm doing. I'm putting this cheap Craigslist car back together so it's drivable. And the cooling system was not totally injured in the wreck. This car hit a deer, so I'm putting it back together from that. But it did break the radiator up here, so I had to have a new radiator. But when I was running the engine, I heard a pretty loud rattle, And over there was normally where the water pump would be, and it's now removed. It's out here on the side. I'm about to show that to you, and that's where the thermostat goes. So what's going on is the water pump had failed on this car. The bearings went bad in it, so it was junk. So it had to come off and be replaced. So that's what I'm doing. And also at the same time, I'm replacing the thermostat, which appears to be the original, with a new Toyota thermostat. There's your part number right there if you ever need one. This fits a Echo, a Yaris, and possibly a Prius. So that was about 25 bucks off the internet. Because this car, like the Yaris, I don't know about the Prius, but these two cars, the Echo and the Yaris, don't have a temperature gauge on them. They have a temperature warning light. So you know about warning lights, whenever they come on, it's hot. So I don't like that. So we're going to be safer than sorry. But I wanted to show you this water pump. This is the original. I'm assuming it's the original because it's got ASIN on it, which is a supplier to Toyota. As a matter of fact, it also has a Toyota name on it. Now I believe this is the bottom of the water pump. It's got a weep hole, and as you can see there are rust stains, but the main thing is that the bearings in this thing are just garbage. You can see how much this need a vise, don't it? But see how much that thing is moving in there. It's a lot. So there you go. See that wobbling around, wargling around in it. So anyway, it was leaking water for sure, because that takes the seals right out of them when the bearings are gone. So sure enough, this guy had, even though it's wintertime, had pure water in it. Because I figured if he's as much of a cheapskate as he appeared to be the rest of the way around this little car, he wasn't putting coolant back in it if it was leaking that way. And he wasn't. He was just putting water back in it. And so, you know, there again, let's review about this real quick. So he has to get to work in this car, and his water pump's making so much noise you can hear it 100 foot away easily. And it's pouring water out of the water pump, but he's not going to spend, like I did, he's not going to spend 40 bucks for a new water pump and put the water pump on it. He's just going to keep putting water in it. Because, I don't know, tell me why that is, but he keeps, you know, putting water in it. So I don't know if it's ran hot or not. Chances are much better now, but you know, and there again, you know, you find receipts in there. He's been stopping for chicken dinners and getting takeout food and loading up on McDonald's and stuff like that, and he's got enough money to keep his chow going so he can spit it all over the car, but he won't fix a mechanical problem. That's called redneck priorities. Now I know a fair amount of you guys may consider yourselves rednecks, and I'm probably a redneck also, but we're talking specifically about rednecks who have lost touch with reality. You know, redneck priorities are cell phone, cigarettes, beer, McDonald's, going to Walmart, and then if you got any money left to pay for the car repair, or I don't know, maybe rent, or maybe getting medicine, taking care of your health. Well, we'll see about that, maybe, you know. So anyway, that's the story we've seen many times on this. This is why cars like this end up like this, because they just don't take care of them. You know, and I'll say this much, in my own opinion, you know, if you treat cars like this, if you have redneck priorities like that, I'm here to tell you, you're never going to have anything nice. You're always going to have shit. I mean, this car's a piece of shit. There's no way around that. I'm just fixing this up because, you know, assuming it's runnable and drivable and doesn't have something bad wrong with it and I can use it, then it'll save me on gas as long as I want to drive it until I get tired of it or just want to sell it or whatever. You know, but otherwise it's a POS, and I admit that. I never said it was anything else. But, you know, guys, when you treat cars like this, and you live, especially if you live your life this way, that you just, you know, you only want to devote what little money you have to you know, cell phones, beer, cigarettes, Walmart, McDonald's. Don't get mad about it, because that's all you're going to have your entire life. So, oh well. Okay, back to it. See you in a little bit. Still putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. So got the radiator out, as you just seen. And here's the new radiator. And here's the old radiator that's got smashed up. And so this is kind of neat the way they've done this. It's pretty much just a unit. This thing here, which is also that's the new one that is not broken. But it's all one unit. As you can see, it's got a coolant recovery tank made onto it and a coolant fan, and it's all just one piece. It doesn't separate or anything like that. So the way that comes off, you got a 10 here, and you used to have a 10 up here someplace, but you got one right here also. Yeah, I may have to hope I got a bolt for that. I think I put them in my stash of bolts when I left the junkyard. And then you have to swap over the transmission lines, and you got probably a coolant temp sensor right here. It's gonna come out, and the hose has to be swapped over. And then this up here holds your coolant neck on, so you have to do that, but we'll do that last. So yeah, I haven't seen any evidence that this thing has been, anything's been replaced. This looks like all original Toyota stuff. I'm gonna keep this, even though there you go. Yeah, we'll take that out. We'll keep that. But that's well, I thought the fan was broke. I guess it's not. How about that? I'm gonna keep this part of it, because if that one there gives any trouble, then I'll have a spare one. I won't have to go buy a coolant can. Boy. She got smashed up, didn't she? Yep, sure did. So, okay, well, let me turn some bolts. One thing to remember when you get these are not tight, these little fittings, so make sure you put a wrench on them and make sure they're tight before you put everything together, because it's kind of in a tight location down there, and you don't want to have to fight with that after the fact. You ever see these promos for these shows now? They give you a real sense of urgency. Got this Project Toyota behind us, and if it doesn't run, we only got 24 hours, the whole deal's off.